the professors and so forth. Now, in terms of area of specialization, I think very similar to the students, science and technology, social science, and medical. What students do you teach? Okay, this is important because you wanted to know if they're teaching postgraduates, will they be interested actually to integrate SNS? Internet literacy, fair, no? This is a bit surprising. Do you carry out online teaching? Oh, only 52%. Okay, and the 52%, actually dump their course materials for the students. Students come and pick up, and they do some forums, that's it, and they call it e-learning. Okay. Are you aware of SNS? Majority of the professors, so that's good news. Do you have an account? I think this is very encouraging that about 90% of our lecturers are using different kinds of social networking sites, Twitter, Facebook. I don't know whether you consider LinkedIn as a social networking site or professional or a mix of both. And for those who do not have an account, I ask them, do you plan to create an account? So they divide it into three. One third say yes, one third say no, it's going to invade my privacy, blah, blah, blah. And the other one third is not sure. Again. So, students and lecturers are already on Facebook. So why don't we embrace and use it for teaching and learning? Okay. But, lecturers are not, in terms of usage, I think they spend less time than students. So, can you spot something wrong about this data? When I was going through my PowerPoint, I realized, how can I have less than once a day? Am I right? You can have once a day or less than two. Less than once. I said, but people still think that this is also possible. So 30% says, yeah, less than once. Okay, in terms of, I don't think lecturers has got ample time to sit in front of the internet and so forth, because we need to do research, teaching and so forth. Okay. What do you use the sites for? Communicate with friends like the students, with the family. Communicate with other colleagues. Okay. Communicate with my students. But when you ask the students, they say no. Okay, I think this is another, this is the one. How many times a day do you use SNS to communicate with friends? So to them, they communicate with everybody. So this is something a bit fishy. Or probably the students' sample are those whose teachers, lecturers do not use, because these are separate. But it is interesting to see that lecturers claim that, I'm using this also with my students. Are you aware of any, pedagogical value of an SNS? Okay, I think the majority feels that. If yes, how did you know? So people have tried using SNS, and they found that if I approach it correctly, it can actually enhance teaching and learning. What are your feelings? I think 2/3 of lecturers, teachers are positive about using SNS, convenient. You've got this small portion, very fearful of their privacy. Maybe they know. People do not know that you can actually use the setting and have your students not mix with your family interaction and so forth. Okay, I will skip this. Okay, whether I think lecturers realize that whether they like it or not, the social media is there. It's going to impact what students do, how they learn, and so forth. Do you believe that? Okay, they're ready. I also asked them if they have done use SNS, for academic purposes, for research purposes. Some yes. For researching, for collaborating, conferencing, and so forth. I'm going to finish a few more slides and I'm going to do some live demo. Have you carried out formal learning? Okay, one third said they have tried using SNS. And I know many of you probably in the audience have used Facebook, and so forth, Twitter for teaching and learning. Would you like to learn more? Okay, lectures are very positive. That would like to know more how they can embrace social media in teaching and learning. Okay, I'm going to skip this. Similarly, we asked them if we're able to integrate the two, what are the features? So I'm not going to go into detail to this. Now, before I go into my live demonstration, I also did another study on the lecturers, about 1,022 lecturers, I think. Yeah, right. To find out, they're from these universities, what other social media, Web 2.0 tools they are familiar. And to my surprise, besides Twitter and Facebook probably, 90, if you see the figures here, most of our lecturers are not, in Malaysia, are not familiar with the many available social media or Web 2.0 tools. Okay, so I'm going to do two things. Let me go to the internet. Okay, this is a system that we have developed as a result of conducting the test in UKM. It's called iFolio. It's actually a portfolio-based management system. We actually integrate 3 portfolio: a teaching portfolio, the learning portfolio is like trying to embrace the personal learning network, personal learning environment, and the course portfolio. So very quickly, if I can. Okay, this is a course I'm teaching now, this semester. You've got 1 more week. Now, as far as the course portfolio is concerned, one of the features that we have embedded in the system is that it's task-based to get students to be engaged. Otherwise, it's more of putting materials online, they come and take the materials. To me, that's the traditional way. And for the task, we embrace social media. Our online editor allows lecturers and students to include any media that they've been using, so that they do not feel that separation. And we want a sense of what we call ownership. So let's this is, let's say, an example of a task. So it's given beforehand. So normally I will use my video scribe, to explain what to do. Okay, and then I present my. I'm sure you've heard about the flipped classroom. So you get students to do the learning, okay, before class. So they've got the instruction, they've got the materials they go through, okay, and then they get to reflect and think about what they're learning. So I've got 30 students. So each one of them will say, this is my answer. So when I come to class on Monday, instead of teaching, I say, okay, this is what Ilya has to say. Let's talk about it, So let me show you a few more examples. In our, get students to embed our editor allows students to embed any social media. So that's the instruction for them. Okay, and the students now, they can embed different media. These are their presentation using SlideShare. Okay, I'll show you a few more. This is where they embed. So the learning becomes more authentic. You know, teach them how to about questionnaire, get them to use online questionnaire, and these are their online questionnaires. My students, they really enjoy my video scribe. Okay, so besides embedding their social media here, they also embed in their Facebook and so forth and collect data. I'll show you a few more. This is an avatar. Yeah. Get them to create their own avatar. So this is two things here. One is task-based. Second, it is trying to get them engaged in the environment. So students create their own avatar here, and then they get the avatar to speak. I hope my line is. Yeah, okay, let's try this one. Okay, this is Fatin's avatar. So we come to class, we show. Okay, anyone would like to?
Hi everyone, I'm Embi. LLS is an interesting course, right? It's really helpful for language learners. From my point of view, the best way to learn English is by speaking. When we speak in English, we may train ourselves to use correct form of sentence with correct tense, grammar, and vocabulary. Besides,
show you a few more. This is where they embed their YouTube. Yeah. So the idea is to get students to embrace whatever social medium that they're using, so that they don't see the separation. Okay. And we have just started using this system. This morning I had a meeting for a period of over 3 months. We had about 6.5 million page view. The students like it because they're very engaged. They own, they can put whatever they like. These are their video tubes, and they want to be like Hadi, those few guys yang popular tu kan. So each one will have their own. This, by the way, these are first semester students. You'll be surprised what they can do. Let me show you one more. This is interesting. So I hope that you get some idea what this ad canvas. Okay, so each student will create their. Have you heard of ad canvas? Okay, a presentation that they can. I can play the canvas here, so they can share what materials that they have collected on the web, and then we come to class, we share. The idea is to create meaningful learning. So each student has got they feel that they're part of learning. Two things. One, they're doing things, because I think learning is something that students do, not something done to them. Okay. Now, finally, I'm now going to go into my. Just give me two minutes. A student's account. This is something new that we have started. By the way, many public universities, when they heard about this system, they're interested to buy. So if OUM is also interested, I can also sit down with you. Okay. They're very interested because besides the course portfolio, each learner has got his or her own learning portfolio. The learning portfolio is divided into two parts. This is like you do what you like, maybe they want to put their personal blog here. They embed, they've got some YouTube channel, and we get them to embrace whatever social media, okay. If they got, this is a bit more formal, okay, a portfolio that they do for my course, okay. And the thing that I don't know whether you know that in Malaysia we have we're very much into this kemahiran insania. So our system allows students to actually gather. This is an e-portfolio. They can actually provide evidence of the kemahiran insania. So instead of giving marks, 1, 2, 3 out of 7, they can actually produce real evidence. If I want to know somebody's communication, so the idea is that the very day they enter UKM, they will have the formal side and the informal side of learning. They build up so that by year 4, they're able to provide evidence of and embrace any social media that they use. For example, to show entrepreneurship skill, Okay, maybe some students, part-time, doing some online business, just embed what they're doing. Okay, so basically, I would like to show one more. If you can copy this address. This is my OER. If you want to download books related to, because I have noticed in Malaysia, not many lecturers are into Web 2.0 tools. So I've created a series, and to my surprise, it has been very positive. As I mentioned, I think by today I've got about 400,000 readers worldwide. So I've decided to create like a one-stop center at Scoopit. Okay, Scoopit web/2. You will see all the books. There are about 12 titles that you can download for free. How to use mind maps in teaching and learning. How to use these different mediums. Let me very quickly show you. So if you go here, you can get all, or otherwise you go to Scribit. I publish this book once a month or one. I publish all this in a year. Because when there is demand, there is when there is a need for that, you feel you want to write and share. I've published books with what we call the established publisher. They publish 1,000 books. It'll take 4 years for people for that 1,000 books to be sold in Malaysia, academic books. But this is a new medium. Okay, I'm actually done. So I hope that you enjoy my presentation with my romantic voice. Thank you.